is what makes podcasting good? Is it the fact that it is just that simple RSS feed and it goes everywhere? People can listen wherever they want to listen. And then maybe Apple Podcasts is where people find new podcasts to listen to. But it seems like we're a part of our routine. Like I'm in Apple Podcasts, even though it's a hideous app. It's where I'm most comfy, right? It's like where my shows are. I have maybe like 6 that I circulate in between, and that's it. I really don't listen to new ones. It takes a lot of energy for me to get into a new podcast, basically.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's an interesting format challenge. I mean, a lot of the companies that have gotten into this over the last couple of years are trying to solve this problem of, hey, if we curate something, if we build an app, if we collect a lot of data about you, then we can recommend new content to you. And you see Spotify doing that right now. Spotify spent millions of dollars in the last couple of years buying podcast content companies, and now they are leveraging all the information they have about you through your Spotify account to match you with shows and going to match advertising and all that stuff.
I didn't think about that. When they bought Gimlet, they bought data too.
Oh yeah. And podcast, so like Relay, for instance, we're kind of an old-fashioned company in our space now where it's just RSS. You can take our feed and put it in any app you want. It's what some people have termed like open web podcasting. I don't really like that term because I think it has other connotations, but we're just RSS feeds, right? Like that's all that we generate. And you can listen to them anywhere you want. You can plug the RSS feed in, or you can search for us and we're already there. What these other companies are trying to do with pretty limited success is marry like, okay, we have content that's specific to our platform. You can add in, podcasts from the web and kind of mix it all together. And if you're in their app, if they control the whole experience, then they can begin to learn about you and through dynamic ad insertion, play ads for you that meet your demographic information or location information or something like that. And time will tell how successful that is. So far, it hasn't been real successful because people like the podcast client they're already using. People don't want to pay for podcast or a podcast app. Something like Luminary, they just had a big price cut, for their service because they're not growing.
Did they start at $9.99? Is that what they started at?
I think
because now they're at $4.99, which is still
it's a lot.
Like even as someone who just started consuming podcasts maybe 3 years ago, I would probably be, the newer consumer that they're aiming for. But even me, I'm like, oh, there's no way. Like, there's no way I would pay $5 a month for exclusive podcasts where it's like, I already got the people I listen to. I love them. And like, you have to have that initial, they haven't had the hit yet, right?
Right. And what I keep thinking about is what happens if, Spotify through Gimlet Media or some other content company they've built, what happens when they do have a hit? What happens when the next Serial or the next S-Town is in one of those gardens? And I would argue that that's probably actually not super possible because to have a hit, you've got to be accessible to a lot of people. And if you're not accessible to a lot of people, you can't have a hit, right? There's a chicken and egg there that I don't know if anyone has solved yet. But the way we view it is, we have a very successful business. It's profitable. It grows every year. And we do that and we don't know anything about our listeners, right? We know basically where you are in the world, by your IP address. And that's it. We don't know that you live in New York and, that you are interested in these things. And so we can funnel in an ad about a new camera to you because I've watched your channel for a long time. I know a camera ad would be very influential to you because you have a problem with new cameras. But we don't do that because that's not the sort of business we want to be in. And the other model hasn't proven to be successful yet. All the successful podcasts out there, for the most part, are built the way that we're built. Even if you look at something like our friends at Earwolf, I'm listening to the Office Ladies podcast, which is
it's so good.
I
love it.
Every Wednesday morning in the gym, that's what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
And they're doing, it sounds to my ear like they're doing some dynamic ad insertion, but they're doing it in a way that's over RSS. So it's not targeted to me necessarily, but they can change out their back catalog of ads and that sort of thing. And so maybe that's the middle ground, but it's still really early days. And the only business model that's really been proven successful is ours. And so we don't feel pressure to run out and build an app and put a garden around the relay shows, because the relay shows are really successful without all that junk.